Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope all of you are doing well. So, I got a movie review for you guys. This will be one out of two movies that I will be reviewing today. So, we're going to start off with Road Trip. Road Trip is a fantastic movie. So, it has a great cast. We have the likes of Breckin Meyer, Sean William Scott, Tom Green, DJ Qualls. Um, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Fred Ward's in this as well, and there's a few other familiar faces. But Breckin Meyer's character hooks up with Amy Smart's character at a party that is going on, and she's recording him, asking him these questions. They're kind of just messing around a little bit. Well, we find out that the tape that had the recording of him and her was sent to his girlfriend that he just so happened to cheat on. And he ends up grabbing his friends to go and, you know, get this VHS tape before his girlfriend, who's hundreds and hundreds of miles away at another college, before she gets that tape. And throughout the entire film, the amount of shenanigans that they get into is just absolutely hilarious. Um, Now, the cast alone is fantastic, especially the chemistry between everybody. Breckin Meyer is a well known actor. He's been in a lot of classics like, like, oh my god, I had it at the tip of my tongue. I think he was in Clueless, Can't Hardly Wait. I mean, he's been in a lot of films, whether that's, a small little appearance or he plays some type of main character in a way. He's done a lot. He's done television. He's in Rat Race with. Actually, I think He's with Amy Smart in that film as well. Um, but yeah, just the amount of films he's done is fantastic. I mean, he's again a well-known face. Tom Green as well. This is years after his series has ended. This is years after the iconic Bum Bum song, which is still iconic to this day. And I think he had already divorced Drew Barrymore at this point. DJ Qualls kind of coming up. Wasn't really well known at the time. He'd of course go on. I think a couple of years before he would do The New Guy, which is a classic. I don't know why that doesn't have a Blu-ray. Um, and then Sean William Scott, hot off of American Pie fame, and the one actor here, I can't remember his name, but I know him from being on the Animorph series. But he's done a lot. I think he was in Royal Pains, that medical slash drama type series, and just them going through all these things, ranging from this old couple, these grandparents. I think they're grandparents to one of the characters, or they're friends of one of the characters, and that's their grandparents that they stay, so the grandparents know them. And it's absolutely hilarious because the grandfather is just whacked out. There's a couple scenes where he smokes pie and the dog starts talking. Like when they first get there and the grandmother is, like, hey, we got company. He gets off the recliner and literally he has a heart on. Like, and the guys are just standing there like, what is going on here? That whole entire scene is hilarious. When they go to the fraternity and they mess with DJ Qualls and he hooks up with that one chick. It's just hilarious. Like all these things that happen are just pretty hilarious, especially when he has the underwear of the girl he hooked up with, and he's like, "I blinked her," and even Sean William Scott is like, "What? What are you saying?" Now, Sean William Scott, I feel bad for. I like him in this movie, but I do feel bad because he was basically typecast to be a Stifler of this universe. just a different character, but the same personality. Maybe toned down just a little bit, but anybody who watches this and sees Sean William Scott, your first mind's like, yeah, that is Stifler. Um, and Tom Green, he has its moments in the film here and there, and not a whole lot going on with him, unfortunately. But while all this is going on, these like Breckin Meyer's character has a final coming up, and of course there's this nerdy kid who's very smart and intelligent and wants to do everything he can for Breckin Meyer's character to fail. So Amy Smart has to kind of cover for him and try to do everything she can to help him in some way. And Fred Ward plays DJ Qualls' father, and he's pretty great in this. But all in all, this movie's freaking hilarious. I cannot stress that enough. Highly recommend for anybody who has not seen this to give it a watch. Looking back at a lot of like late 90s and early to mid 2000 comedies, there were a lot of good ones. Now, mind you, yes, there were some that came out, in the teens, 2010, 12, 13. But when you look back at the late 90s stuff and the early 2000s, there was a lot of good one. And a lot of those spoof movies or comedies that came out in the 80s and 90s really paved the way for a lot of comedies and spoof movies of the early 2000s. So, the soundtrack's really good too. I do like the soundtrack to this, and what I do like is that you're kind of getting a narrative story being told, because at the beginning and throughout the film there are scenes where we have these parents doing a tour with their kids at this college, and one of the characters is telling them everything that's going on with the events of the film. And yeah, it's pretty entertaining. The film did well enough, I guess, for a straight to home video sequel or spin-off called Road Trip Beer Pong. And there are rare occasions where we get a spin-off or a sequel technically nobody asked for, where no, it's not as good as the first film, but it's good. It's not terrible, like a lot are. A Road Trip Beer Pong is actually pretty entertaining. Is it as good as the first film? No, but I think for what it is, I think it works. It's kind of like what the newer, in a better way to put it, is we kind of see what new students, a different set of students, friends, kind of go on their own road trip after those from the first film kind of moved on with their lives. And there's like one actor that returns for the film, which is DJ Qualls for that. Just a small little cameo appearance. Well, I wouldn't say it's a cameo appearance because you do get him in a few scenes, but he was the only one to return, and it was kind of similar to when we got our first American Pie Presents film, Bandcamp, where we had Chris Owens, who plays Sherman in the American Pie films, the Shermanator. He had a brief cameo in American Pie Presents Bandcamp, so it's kind of similar in that nature. But yeah, all in all, it's a fun comedy. Very entertaining with a really good cast. A lot of these actors are still acting, but they're not like, your top A-list celebrities. And a lot of times we prefer them not being, because, to be honest with you, we find more entertainment out of, these less known actors or, B actors. We find more entertainment out of their films than we would the most recent blockbuster. So according to the DVD, it came out in 2000, this DVD. So my guess would be either 1999 or the same year, 2000. It's hard to say. it feels more of a early 2000s than late 90s. I'm trying to see if there's any other copyright date on here. Yes, it's just 2000. So my guess would be it came out probably like the beginning of 2000, and got like a home video release probably more towards the end of the year. Now you do get some special features. You get roadkill deleted scenes. Ever been on a road trip behind the scenes featurette? You get a music video. You get casting crew bios, production notes, and just some outrageous interactive trivia game and screensaver, which is cool. That's the DVD-ROM. The DVD release for this has been a very interesting one because you've got like multiple versions of this. You've got your unrated version, which I have here. You have your rated version. There's widescreen. There's full screen. I think for both rated and unrated. You guys remember those days where like one movie would have different releases? Full screen, widescreen, full screen, unrated, widescreen, unrated. Like, come on. Or like when like maybe 2012 when the film The Sitter with Jonah Hill came out, and you had DVD, Blu-ray, unrated Blu-ray, Blu-ray and DVD combo pack. Like, glad we got through that. I think it got to the point people were getting a little frustrated with it. But yeah, wish I could say more, but that is my review and my thoughts on Road Trip. If you guys have seen this movie, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear your opinion. I would love to see like some type of reunion with the guys, like a little special, and kind of talking about the film, and maybe just give us some really cool stories behind the scene. I think that would be cool. It is available on Blu-ray, 4K. I believe there might be one, maybe through Kino. I don't know. I haven't been really paying attention too much to a lot of the comedy releases when it comes to like 4K, but there is that possibility. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed, and keep your eyes out for the next movie review. But with that being said, I am Film Talk with Mikey. Till then, you guys have a good one. Take care, and I will see you guys next time.